And as we're settling into the ground for a moment, let yourself take on the breath where the inhale is nice and deep, but the exhale is extra long. So at least 2 to 4 counts longer than the inhale. Take a few rounds of breath like that. So often in stressful days, we do the opposite breath where we mostly inhale and we barely exhale. That is an energizing breath. It kind of wakes us up. But this breath brings us back to presence. It's kind of like shifting from an external focus into an internal focus, helping us to be more present, more calm, more happy with who we are and where we are right now. So just keep that slow, deep breath going as we take a few moments to connect with a little intention for our class. The intention comes from a Sanskrit word, Bramacharya, which is about how our energy is used. And so there's things that waste our energy, or even overindulgence kind of wastes our energy because it's like too much. It's not the right balance for our system. And then there's returning back to simplicity, where our energy is conserved, and even we start to tune into the body wisdom to ask what it wants. And in so doing, we actually gain that little bit of wisdom, and the body's able to be much healthier, much happier. So our class today, you'll notice as we go through some parts toward beginning and end, we're going to be a little bit slower, a little bit more gentle, really trying to return to presence with our body. As we start to build up some momentum, we're going to be moving slowly with presence, and eventually building up more momentum. We'll be working on different strengthening movements back to back. The body gets kind of tired. So in those moments, again, it's that idea, can we stay present with what's going on rather than get frazzled by the energy of it all, by the whole sequence, by doing things back to back. So that's going to be the little thing that we're playing with today. So to get us started, let's start to take the knees into the chest. With a hand on each knee, let's take easy little movements for hips. The chance to tune in with how hips and low back are. You can even give it a little massage. While the breath is still easy. Then to get us started on our hips here, what we're going to do is try to cross the right thigh really tightly over the left thigh. This makes our ankles swivel off to each side, so try to grab a hand onto each ankle. If that's a little bit too tight, you could switch it to figure 4, but if possible, try to keep the knees a little closer. So this is a really deep stretch for the hip, that outer thigh area. So try to start off with just some good, slow, easy breaths here. Oftentimes when things get intense, kind of like this stretch, our mind tries to distract us and we think of something totally separate. Instead, can we try to be with the intensity? It's a whole different thing to try to be with it, because that's listening to the body. That's listening to those little tiny cues that tell us, ooh, maybe this one back out of. Or maybe this one's one that I want to go deeper. I'm not really feeling it as intensely as I hope. So let's take 2 more breaths here. Good. Then spreading the arms open left and right. These crossed legs, let's let them fall over to left. That creates more space in hip and even low back. So just send some good breaths right there. breath is like a massage. When I inhale, it takes me slightly out of the twist. Exhale releases it slightly deeper, like a little teeter-totter, just kind of going back and forth like a massage. Let's take one more huge breath. That breath is a good inhale, but an even longer exhale. So at the end of the exhale, return hips to floor. Let's unwind the legs, stick legs up to sky. Our first chance to try to muscularly hold them up. Feel how those muscle fibers are in this gentle stretch. Before we switch sides, what we're gonna do is clasp hands around the right leg, pull it in. Left leg hovers any amount down toward ground. That left leg lifts up. We'll switch hands to be on that side, pull it in. Right leg lowers down. Taking a few good rounds like that. Notice as we go a little slower sometimes, it helps us build a whole different awareness of what's going on. So notice what it feels like in the body as the leg that's dropping down is getting lower and lower. Maybe that pulls the top leg into the stretch a little deeper just by justice of that simple lowering action. Or maybe there's other things you feel giving you specific awareness of what's going on in your system. So you always can go faster if you wish, but for this first one, maybe take it just to keeping it slow like this. A couple more rounds. Twice more. Once more each leg. Good. So from here, let the left thigh cross tightly over right, grabbing onto ankles. Again, it's inviting presence. How much are these legs willing to get pulled in? Another 3 breaths right here. Feeling that left hip relax even deeper each long exhale. And then spreading the arms open left and right, take it to the twist. Feel that left hip and left part of the low back getting some space. Again, try to remain present with it rather than kind of pulling ourselves away into the comfortable things. Notice where your distractions tend to arise. For instance, just a week or so ago, I took Facebook app off of my phone. I realized my justification for Facebook is that I use it for business, but I don't ever use it on my phone. I only use that on my laptop. So I took it off of my phone, and I'm recognizing how often I flip my phone open and want to just go directly to it. So it's this type of awareness of what your habits are, where your energy is going. And it's that listening for those little bits of wisdom. Maybe try this for a little while. So that way we can tune deeply into what is going on in our system. Let's take one more huge breath for here. Nice exhale. Hips go back down, legs work their way, unwinding back up to sky. this time, what we're gonna do a couple of times is let the legs open out left and right and take themselves back together. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze. Just keep on going. Again, move in a way that you can have awareness rather than just straight momentum. Take 3 more if you're still feeling okay. Open the legs back out wide. Bring hands to inner thighs. That helps to weigh the legs open to gravity. If ever the legs are getting a little fatigued because they've been straight for a while, you can always bend the knees. That'll still give you a similar stretch. But straight, I like because it just adds in a couple of other muscle groups that you wouldn't have got. So your preference. Whether legs are straight or bent, let's give it 3 more breaths. Remember that exhale is longer. Letting the knees soften. Bring the legs together. Hands slipping to the knees. Give it a couple of easy rocks for low back and hips. Maybe they've got different sensations going on. Things have shifted by now. So from here, back to stillness. Let's scoop the head up with the hands. What we're doing is twisting our right elbow to that left knee, extending right leg out. Higher is easier, lower is harder. Exhale, switch sides. One way to build awareness of this one, it's pretty easy to do this with hardly any muscular effort. If you're just kind of like rocking the shoulders left and right. So also try to add in the sensation of the shoulder that's lifting, try to lift it even higher off the ground. So it's like trying to go 1 centimeter further. Take it another 3 rounds to each. Two. 1. Head relaxes back down. Let's bump the hips up for a moment as the thumbs slide right under the hip bones. And legs go back up straight to the sky. So it's going to be a slow journey. The legs lower any amount down. Legs are together. Then exhale, gently, slowly takes them back up. So if this is feeling hard already, and if low back arches, that's an invitation. Don't go quite so far down. Inhale back up. The idea is to keep it at a steady, sustainable spot. Inhale, lower, feel the core tighten. Exhale, legs lift. When we go slow like this, we build awareness of certain things going on. So for instance, as the legs lower, when we're inhaling, there's something going on in the diaphragm area called the airbag effect that helps us to keep the low back on the ground and keep the core very safe. Then with our exhale, feel those contractions through the core area, starting to invite the legs back up. So I know this is hard. If you're doing okay, let's take another 3. 2, 1. Let the knees bend, plant the feet about as wide as the mat. Bring out the hands. Let's take a few windshield wipers. So knees tilt all the way to left, all the way to right. Feel that additional space getting brought around the hip joint. Good. So then when knees come back upright, heel toe the feet closer together, even sliding heels closer to glutes if needed to set it up for bridge pose shape. Let's take a few of those motions. Feel how it's the very tailbone that scoops us up to lift, and then like little pearls on a necklace, one bead follows the next and follows the next and follows the next. So that sensation, literally pressing one vertebrae up at a time and then pressing one vertebrae down at a time. Feel the sensation of inhale as we rise up. Long exhale to lower. Let's take another 3.
I like to imagine a chain of grapes squishing each one.
That works. 2. And 1. Good. Resting the hips back down. Use the hands to scoop up the head. Let's take it into a gentle little neck stretch. Chin coming to chest. The arm strength is what lifts it up. So head is heavy back, but as arm strength tilting it up so we feel the back of the neck stretch. One more good inhale. Nice exhale. Head rest down, slide the legs long, arms stretch up overhead. We're going to try to do 5 roll-ups. Remember, you could use momentum if needed. If you can do it without momentum, try to feel that sensation of rolling up one part of your body at a time to stretch over the toes and then rolling all the way back down. So inhale right up here, stretching back. Exhale, arms lift, shoulders lift, one vertebrae at a time. And take that lift over the legs. Good. Inhale, slowly lower all the way back. Let's go for another 4. Yep, grab legs, grab whatever you need. Even going back down, you can use that same grip to help you engage the core a little bit more. Here's 3. And back. 2. This last one, let's just stay in that nice stretch all the way forward. Let there be no weight in the head. Just let that chin rest. The heavy. Notice how sometimes there's some back muscles that are connected with the neck that we didn't realize needed to stretch too. As we rise up, let's scoot the knees into boat pose. You can grip on the thighs if needed. The easy version would be this: grip on the thighs, legs go out, legs go in. The harder version will be with a slight twist, hands at heart, legs go out, try to twist elbows closer to the right. Legs go out, closer to the left. Let's take another 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. We'll bring it right into cobbler's pose. Again, feel all those back muscles and the neck, just relaxing forward. If the head wants to rock left and right, that's a good way to ease some neck tension out. Straightening spine back up, take the left hand to the left knee. As you try to push that left knee down a little bit, this leans us a bit to the right, so then continue to let right ear drop to right shoulder. That should stretch through left neck, left shoulder, even into left side ribs a little bit. So head up, torso up, take right hand to right knee, push into it, lean the left ear down. Torso up, right leg slides forward. Let's take a twist toward the straight leg. So left hand hooks, right hand comes behind. A simple spinal twist. Turning forward. Float the arms up to sky. Inhale. Exhale, drop down. Lift up, switch the legs out, twist toward the straight leg. Forward, float the arms up. Inhale, exhale, drop forward. Okay, as we come back up, swing the legs underneath us. We're coming to kneel. And let's take a dolphin pose. So elbows go to the floor. One hand makes a fist, the other hand hugs around the fist. Tucking the toes, lift up the hips. Then walk the toes in. Sometimes it's like 4 or 5 baby little steps in. We're gonna try to just hold for about 5 slow breaths if you can for this one. So inhale 5, long exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Resting down to child pose. Perhaps even neck and forehead can drop down. Feel that heart rate calming just a little bit before we take another round. Okay, so when you're ready, set up the elbows again. You could do the same thing, just holding still, or once you're in it, lift right leg up and left leg up. You choose how many reps, maybe 5 or 6 to each leg. Choose the amount that works for you without bringing you to kind of like a state of panic. Like before, when you're ready, just take a child. Strong girl. You guys are doing awesome. So notice on hard things, notice how the heart is. Notice how our energy is. Do we tend to get more to panic where it's like we're sending our energy away, scattered to all directions? And is there a way just to be with one movement at a time? We're going to change several things back to back through a standing series next. And so there might be moments when the brain is like, are we done? There's still more. So just try to stick with it one at a time. We'll add in a couple of stretches as we're in the middle of it. We'll do all sorts of goodies. But just kind of try to notice how your energy is. If it's scattered, can we bring it just to this next thing that we're doing? So to get it started, let's take a nice downward facing dog shape. Let's allow right leg to float up to sky. Feel it reach high. And step that right foot in between hands. We're trying to keep the back heel lifted in a lunge shape. So if the balance is weird, scoot the leg further to the left side. That can help with balance. When you have balance, both arms to sky. So these strengthening things we're going to do are in sets of 5. So first things first, the back knee lowers a little bit closer to ground, and then lift it back up straight. Repeat 4, 3, keep the breath going. 2, 1. Now hold a soft lunge. Sometimes we go clear down to the lowest spot and it's too much, so maybe 10% off of that. And then touch your forearms together in front of you. With an inhale, elbows open up to each side, feel the stretch in the chest. Exhale, squeeze them together. 4, 3, 2, 1. Sweep the arms up to sky. Inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. So front knee is going to straighten and bend. Repeating that part 4. 3, 2, 1. Good. A little neck and shoulder break. Keep the front knee bent. Clasp the hands behind the back. We're going to take our hands to the right hip or the right side of the waist, and then drop our right ear to right shoulder. Head comes back up, hands to the left hip, left waist, left ear to left shoulder. Good up. Drop the hands to the tailbone area. Swivel both sets of toes open to this long edge, 45-degree angles, setting up for goddess pose. So start with the legs straight up, and then both knees bend as low as we can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When the legs go back straight, turn the toes to the long edge of the mat. With the clasp behind the back, pull the hands back a little bit. This opens the shoulders and makes the spine straight. Start to bend forward at the waist. Keep the spine straight for as long as you can. There will be a moment where the spine curls down. So at that moment, the hands continue to pull back into shoulder stretch. Good. Hands to low back, soften the knees, roll the spine up. Front toes turn forward, front knee is bent. Now as we release the hands, let the shoulders be super soft, floating back out to left and right. Try to keep the shoulders that soft as we take 5 circles, tracing the hands about the size of a tennis ball. We'll take 5 to each direction. So when you're ready, here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the shoulders relax again. And then we're gonna cartwheel hands down to the ground, one hand surrounding each side of the front foot. Hop up onto the back toes. As the hands slide forward a foot or so, float that left foot. And then 5 times, the left knee touches the back of the right knee, both knees are bent, and straighten back out. Squatting like that, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop both feet together, down. Use a breath to relax the spine, forward fold. And bend at the knees, send the hips back. Sweep the arms up by the ears, Sphinx pose. 5 times, heels try to lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heels rest back down. 5 times the arms sweep down to go out by the sides like an airplane, and then down to come back up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Straighten the legs. One last little balance challenge before second side. We're trying to reach left hand to left foot. Quad stretch. Nice because you're getting a stretch at the same time you're making your foot balance. So if you don't feel the quad stretch, scoop the tailbone under or pull the knee back just a little bit. Good. Dropping this foot down. Second side quad stretch. No balance on one side. That's okay. That's okay. Some days we have those days. Good. Dropping this down. Just take an inhale, circle arms up to sky. Exhale, forward fold. Slide the feet back to plank. You could also go to kneeling plank. We're going to try for 5 push-ups. Here's the best we can do. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. So notice how your energy is doing several things back to back to back to back. Sometimes it's like, oh, are we done with this sequence yet? But just notice on this next side, maybe we can stay a little bit more present. So left foot starts to float up. Step that foot in between hands, back heel is still floating. Rise up with the balance. Good work. Back knee bends and straightens. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it in an easy lunge spot. Elbows touch in front of us. Inhale, open. Exhale, forearms touch. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the arms up. Open up, warrior 2. Front knee straightens and bends. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay bent. Clasp hands behind the back. Bring hands to the left hip. Drop left ear to left shoulder. Head up. Hands to the right hip or right waist, right ear to right shoulder. Good. Head up, flip the arm. Oh, sorry, keep the hand clasped. I lied. Bring the hands to the tailbone, turn out to goddess pose. Straighten the legs to start. And both knees bend, squat down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn the toes to the long edge. Use this grip to pull the spine straight as you bend forward at the waist. At the moment the spine starts to curl under, that's where we pull the shoulders back. Another breath in. Out. Hands to hips, bend the knees, roll up. Front toes forward, front knee bent. Let's open back up to that warrior 2. 5 tennis ball circles each. This 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Notice if the shoulders are tense. Can you relax them? Switching 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Roll hands down to the ground. Pop up the back heel. As we slide the hands forward, float the right leg. Get that little squat, touching knees together, both knees bent, and extend back out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Drop both feet down. A moment with a forward fold. And sit the hips back. Sweep the arms up by the ears. Here it goes. 5 times. Heels try to rise. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Conduct your arms really wide. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. This time, the bonus challenge we're going to do is eagle's pose. Right elbow wraps under. Right side tries to wrap over. Maybe the toes are on the ground. Maybe the toes are wrapping around cat. Feel the burn on that quad. Last little one for this side. One more inhale. Exhale, open arms. Step the right foot down. Left foot over. Looking down floor or calf wrap. Left elbow under. 2 more breaths. We're gonna return to the slow exhale. Good. Release the elbows, release the legs. Circle arms up to sky, feel those legs straighten, slight back bend. Forward fold. Good, let's take it to Malasana. Heel toe feet about as wide as mat. Toes turn out. If the full squat is a little bit too much, go even wider as you squat down. Otherwise, just as normal yogic squat, push the elbows into the knees as hands are in prayer position. Good, see if the spine can straighten a little more. Notice once again, where's my energy? Is it all frantic, crazy? A little bit. We got just that edge. So as we take these last stretches here, return back to the slow exhale to bring us back center. We're gonna drop fingers down, slide right foot back, lower the knee, lower elbows. Sometimes both elbows don't go, so you don't have to. Sometimes just one. Lizard pose. Okay. You made it. Blocks are also good. Good. Remember to consciously tell yourself, especially while the breath is going, the heart is going, consciously tell yourself, long exhale. It's like instead of my energy being 10 feet out, I'm trying to gather it in to be about an inch out. And it's like you can see a little glow around yourself. Good. Come up to hands. We're going to take a low side lunge. So continue to walk the hands to this right long edge. Rotate onto that back heel. So depending on your energy right now, some might want to play with the balance where you take hands together. Some might want to work instead on trying to get an elbow closer to the ground. So there's 2 ways to focus on this, or just stay right in the middle, that's okay. Yep, good variation for you're not going low. Take 2 more breaths wherever we're at. Work. So hands down, walk the hands to pivot back to top of mat. When the right foot steps up to top of mat, let the knees be straight or bent. We're just dangling down. We can take hands to elbow creases if you like. And imagine somebody's trying to pull the hands closer to the earth. That gives a little bit of extra space through the back. Make sure the neck is nice and loose. Good. We're going to do second side lizard. Fingers drop down, left foot slides back. Lower the knee, maybe lower one or both elbows. Maybe by this side, our energy's a little closer. Exhales are a little slower. To hands. We're taking that low lunge to the second side, the left long edge of the mat. Again, you could be balancing, you could be lowering, you could stay right there in the happy center spot. Let's drop hands down. As we walk our hands to top of mat, let's step back to downward facing dog. Last down dog of the day. Feel the skeleton stack. Feel the spine lifting longer, muscles lengthening. Another huge inhale. Super long exhale. As we lower down, let's come to sit, facing forward, legs out in front. A couple of bonus stretches for legs. So swivel the left leg in. And then right leg is going to be cradled. So rock the baby cradle out. You could hold on with hands or elbows. Feel that hip, get a couple of chances to open up. And as we start to drop this leg down, it could be dropped to shin step or to cross leg, your preference. The arms are going to take another of those eagle's arms so that we can stretch shoulders and neck again. So right elbow is going to go under left elbow. Try to wrap the palms. And then do whatever helps to stretch shoulders and neck in your tight spot. So it might mean elbows up, shoulders down. That's my personal favorite. Other people have tight spots in between shoulder blades, so you would push elbows forward, round the spine back. You could also just work on the neck, letting the head tilt to various directions, gaze over the shoulder or tilt an ear down. Just good movements, lots of breath. Take 2 more breaths, whatever is going on. As we release the hands, take a couple of shakes to kind of get rid of some of that tension in the shoulders. And hands to floor, slide forward. This gets us with that stretch into hips and low back, glute. More inhale. Exhale, rise up. Release the right leg down. Cradle out left. Let's give it some good rocks. As long as you get your second side, whatever that is.
That was a deep sigh. Whitney.
Okay, drop it to cross leg or shin stack. Left elbow will be under. Play around, maybe elbows forward, spine backward, maybe elbows up, shoulders down, maybe some neck movements. For a good inhale, and even longer exhale. Let hands release. Shake it out a couple of times. Take that chance to slide forward and through. Last inhale, extra long exhale. And then as we ease our way up, if there's last wiggles and stretches our body needs before Shavasana, take a little bit of time to do those. At any point that you do feel ready just to relax, that's also fine. So your preference at this point. Some people sometimes need to stretch even like 5 minutes into Shavasana, that's okay. Just keep on relaxing through the body and eventually finding the peaceful release when your body is ready. Zero sense of rush at all, but it's natural for some people to get into it sooner than others. So when you are ready to just release into your Shavasana, imagine in your mind's eye you could see your energy. And almost like seeing the sun. Imagine you could see different spots doing solar flares, sunspots. Imagine that's kind of what our energy was like. So what spots are kind of leaking like a solar flare? Imagine you could literally see it. And if you have a leaky spot, notice if your intuition guides you at all to how it can maybe be plugged off. How you can conserve and enjoy that vital energy that you have. Keep on enjoying these good deep breaths. We're here for several more minutes. Let's keep it flowing in and out. Begin to deepen your inhales, your exhales. Introduce little movements back to the body, fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Taking stretches that just feel good right now. nice fetal position off to one side. Let the body have a few more beautiful breaths to continue to come back to presence, back to awareness, back to simplicity. Eventually rising up to a comfortable seat when the body feels ready. With hands together in front of the heart, we recall that Sanskrit idea, Bramacharya, our vital energy and how we're using it. Are we constantly wasting it, letting it be sucked out, letting it be frazzled? And what can we do to return to simplicity? Simple focus on the breath, on this present moment. It almost feels like it's taking that huge aura back to just within an inch, letting ourselves glow radiantly with our own vital energy. So with return to simplicity, with return to listening to the wisdom of our body, with all this to lead us on, let's wrap up the time we shared together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.